Hey guys, how's it going? Daniel here. So finally, yesterday of course, I went to pick up my new iPhone 11 that I pre-ordered. So like many of you guys already knew, I got the green one, which actually looks like teal more than green. But in Apple's website, it shows green as the color that they chose to name it. So of course, first off, let's talk about what's inside the box, what comes with the iPhone. So I already unboxed it. I already set up my iPhone since last night, of course. But yeah, so depending on the color that you choose with the iPhone 11, so yellow, green, black, white, purple, the color of course shows differently here on the logo as well, and on where it shows iPhone as well right there. So you pretty much, of course, get the usual stuff, manual with the stickers inside. You get some new earbuds, and of course your lightning connector, and you connect it to the outlet so that you can start charge your phone with only 5 watts, which just sucks. So that's why I never really use this one because it charges too slow, and I just connect it with my Qi charger instead, which is way faster. So yeah, and just of course, like any Apple packaging, it's awesome. It looks fantastic. Nothing has changed, and yeah, it just looks really nice. And that's why I always like to keep. Apple's the only company that I keep their boxes from, just because their packaging is just really, really fantastic, and it just looks great as well as props. So let's put this back here. So like I said, of course, I got the iPhone 11 in green. So here it is out of the box, and it's just really, really nice. It looks fantastic. Um, I'm surprised how thin the camera bump is. Like from the models that all the leaks that they were releasing from the models, it showed like a bigger bump, but it's actually really not that bad. So of course, I have it set up with the clear case from Apple. So you could get a like cheaper clear case, of course, but if you want the first party one from Apple, then it will cost you about $50 Canadian, just to have the clear case. And of course, the clear case just makes it so that you could just see the color, and it just looks really nice. Instead of having a black case or a white case or a blue case to cover up the back of the iPhone, you can now see. And of course, the big difference, of course, with this model is now the iPhone logo is nice and centered. And it just has the Apple logo. It doesn't say made by Apple or anything like that. So yeah, it's just really minimalistic, the design. So let's hop into what's on my iPhone now. So first, let's start the recording, and there we go. So of course, in the first row, as always, I have my where I use to text, of course, the App Store, settings, and the clock app. So of course, before we move any forward with this video, I do have my iPhone 11 set up to dark mode. So if we open to the App Store, it's all dark mode, of course, which is just awesome. So that's how I have it set up throughout the system, since iOS 13 now comes with dark mode. So let's continue. So we have Apple News as well, which just looks fantastic in dark mode, of course. So whenever I want to read the news, I just open Apple News or Google News as well. And of course, a lot of these apps that you'll be seeing have support for dark mode already. So sometimes they automatically change to dark mode depending on the theme setup that you have on your iPhone with iOS 13. So yeah, really awesome. We have Mac Cache, of course. It's the app I use to read all news about Apple only. So I follow here. You can follow almost every top Apple blog out there, and just see what's new, of course, in iOS 13, what's new with the iPhone 11, and so yeah, it's just a great place to read all about Apple. YouTube Studio, of course, which I'm not going to open, but of course, if you make YouTube videos, then of course you must have this app to follow your analytics and everything and see the numbers. Things, of course, I have it. I have nothing right now because, well, I'm pretty much done, I guess, everything that I need to do. Things, AP News, of course. So I like reading the news a lot. I like getting breaking news, so I want to know what's happening around the world. So I just like having AP News right there whenever breaking news happens. The Nest Home, of course, to control the Nest products. Marvis, of course, is my go-to music player on the iPhone, and it's just really awesome. I just like the design look and the gestures that you could do with this app. So this is a new app, Allegory or Allegory. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's just mostly a simple note-taking app that you need iOS 13 to run this app. So yeah, it's just an awesome app. I've been playing around with it. More to come from that app. Business Insider, of course, we have there to also read the news. But of course, I like to check the tech area here. Of what's happening in the tech industry. So we have Spectre, of course, Fitman Cook, trying to find some great recipes to cook. Squarespace, of course, to control my website, the analytics of Squarespace to check out the numbers of my website as well. The Reminders app, which I would have never thought I would have an Apple default Apple app other than the Messages App Store settings in the Clock app, but Reminders. So in iOS 13, of course, Apple gave Reminders a big upgrade and a lot of new features that you could do with it, which is just fantastic. So one of the things, of course, that I like to do with it is add subtext to it. So you can actually just by clicking on the eye there, you could go to subtext and you can add subtext under it. So like we'll call it green there. Okay, green, there we go, and we're good. And then we go back to details, done, and when we click done, you added a subtext under that Reminders, which is just fantastic. I like having it just so I can make a list of things that I need to do for that reminder. And so yeah, of course, you have your categories area in your reminders area here. You have your list area, of course. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Reminders 13 upgrade. It's much more powerful. There's a lot more features that I'm not going to get into right now. So stay tuned for that video as well. Of course, in my dock, I have to have my Castro app right there to listen to the latest podcast of all the tech podcasts I like to listen to. To Twitter app, of course, which is just an awesome app. Of course, I like the Twitter app. I like the default one to see what's happening around me. Instagram, of course, and Halid, of course, is the camera choice app I go for instead of using the default camera app on the iPhone. Of course, the Apple Watch app. My Apple Watch Series 5 did not come on Friday. Hopefully, it'll be here on Monday. So I can't do anything about that. Of course, the utilities area. So this pretty much is the place that these are apps I probably will never open. Of course, only Apple apps here. Apollo, a third-party Reddit client. If you guys haven't checked out Apollo, I highly recommend it if you guys go a lot on Reddit. So yeah, it's just a fantastic app right there. The Google folder. So of course, all the default Google apps I use on a daily basis. The main Google app, Google Photos, Google Home, Google Maps, the YouTube app, Google Assistant, and Google Fit. In the utilities folder, we have transit, of course, to find out what time the next public transportation is coming. Dark noise, of course, is the app I use sometimes whenever I want to focus on something, and I just put some white noise background. And so yeah, I just use dark noise app because it comes with a lot of noises that you can choose from as well. Spotify, of course, you know what that is. The Amazon app, you know what that is. Lookmark, of course. Whenever I find an interesting app that I want to check out later, I add it to my wish list using Lookmark since the App Store does not have a wish list no more. The RBC app, of course, you know what that is. The Hue apps to control my lights here. That I have to set up. I haven't set it up yet here. The Carrot Weather app. So with the Carrot Weather app, actually, which if you guys know, it's already my favorite weather app. And of course, it received a nice update for iOS 13. It supports a lot of the new iOS 13 features, which is fantastic. Unsplash, of course, for the customized wallpaper that I like to choose from in iOS 13 here. Shazam, RBC Wallet, Deliveries, Opener, Tile, Uber, and the Bible app there. And then of course social networking, of course, apps, Snapchat, our photo app here. We have Pro Camera. These are apps I like to play around with. Lightroom, of course, to edit my photos from the iPhone. Filmic Pro, of course, is the app I use whenever I'm using the video part of the camera on the iPhone. Healthcare, of course, we have pedometer, heart watch, water reminder, and of course 9 to 5 Mac app here to also follow more Apple News stuff, airmail, the sports area, and more utility apps here, and story art. So I don't have a lot of third-party apps yet. I'm still finding some interesting ones. And since I always, whenever I get a new iPhone every year, I just like to start all over and just see which apps I really need to have installed on my iPhone so that I don't have a clutter of apps installed on my iPhone. And of course, on the widget area here, I just like how dark mode looks on iOS 13 here. It just looks fantastic. So we have Carrot Weather, of course, here. We have, of course, screen time to see how much minutes, hours I'm on the iPhone. Google News, of course, right here to see quickly the news. Things, of course, delivery. PCal is my go-to calculator app. And, of course, it's just quickly, easy way to access the calculator app on the phone. And, of course, pedometer right there to see how many steps I've taken. Now, of course, there's some more customization I went through. So in the control center area, you could actually choose what you want to have installed. You could customize it. So of course, I have the flashlight, quickly access the camera app right there. Screen recorder, which I'm using right now to record my screen on the iPhone. And of course, this little icon, which is new, is actually to use dark mode off. So now dark mode is back to light mode pretty much. So yeah, that's how it looks on light mode, which looks fantastic as well. But of course, I just like having it back to dark mode. And it's just a quick, easy way to access dark mode without having to go into settings and then having to search for dark mode to turn it off or turn it back on. So that's pretty much it with what's on my iPhone 11. It will probably change soon. And also the gear I use with the iPhone 11, the case and everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys enjoyed it, please do subscribe to the channel, and as always, I will see you guys later. Peace.